The people that set these New Year resolutions to start going to the gym, most of them just simply quit. By February, they are nowhere to be seen. They give up on their goals because they realize it's too difficult. You don't want to be one of those people, and this is what this video is going to be about. So, you are looking to get into the gym, looking to start working out. This video is going to be a simple guide on how to get started with the gym, how to make sure that you keep your New Year resolutions. Maybe you set some New Year resolutions last year in December that you're going to start working out. What I want to talk about here is how to make sure that you actually follow through with that promise. I mean, it doesn't have to be New Year resolutions specifically. Maybe you are watching this in October, maybe you're watching this in February, I don't know. But this applies to you anyway. I'm going to give you some top line tips on how to get started with the gym and how to build the body of your dreams in the easiest possible way. I personally am not a big advocate, not a big fan of New Year resolutions. A lot of people set New Year resolutions in November and December and they say, I'm going to do it next year, I'm going to do it in January. Now, that's all good because it motivates them to start something. But at the same time, if you can start something today, then please do so. I mean, if you can start something in November, which oftentimes is the case, then why would you delay until January? However, now you have set some New Year resolutions. This year, try and stick to your New Year resolutions as much as possible. And when you reflect in 2024, November, December, towards the end of the year, you have to be proud of yourself. That should be your goal. That is what you need to be aiming for. And you do this by actually sticking to the promises that you have made to yourself. When it comes to working out, for example, a lot of people have the New Year resolution that they're going to get into the gym, they're going to start working out. This is very good, but the problem is this. In January, the gyms are absolutely packed. Come February, and the gyms are literally empty, as much empty as they were before the New Year resolutions started to come. What this means is that the people that set these New Year resolutions to start going to the gym, most of them just simply quit. By February, they are nowhere to be seen. They give up on their goals because they realize it's too difficult. You don't want to be one of those people, and this is what this video is going to be about. The first step that I'm going to be giving you is going to be very, very simple. It is just to simply show up every day to whatever it is that you're doing. Now, when it comes to building a body of your dreams, building a better body, maybe your goal is to lose weight, maybe to build muscle, you don't necessarily have to go to the gym. You can start running, you can get into combat sports, you can, as I was saying, go to the gym as well, but there are many different things that you can do. Whatever it is, show up every day. Instead of worrying about little details like making sure that my form is perfect on the bench press, or I need to make sure that I get between 8 to 12 reps. Don't focus on this to begin with. Especially if you're a person who hasn't done this before, hasn't been working out before, hasn't done many sports before. If this is your first exposure to this, then start by just showing up every day to build a habit where you have enough discipline to keep going no matter whether you enjoy it or not. What I mean by this is obviously you have to make sure that you enjoy it, but in the same time, there'll be days when you don't want to turn up to the gym, you don't want to work out because you don't feel like it. Just show up anyway. Just by showing up to the gym and doing exercises and having a rough workout program in mind and doing something is already enough to make a difference because you have not done this before. Just have a workout program in mind. If you want to build muscle, then have something like the push-pull legs routine. But as I was saying, don't worry about the specifics like really worried about how many reps you are getting, how strong you're getting. No, the first few months, first few weeks, you just have to show up every day. Just show up no matter how you feel. This is the most important thing because discipline, without discipline, you're not going to be able to keep going. No matter how well you are working out those few times that you are going. But if you are not going when you don't feel like you're going, then you're going to be missing sessions. And when you miss workout sessions, that means that your goals are not going to be achieved. It's a short-term sacrifice. You're going to be in pain because there'll be times when you don't want to do it. But you do it anyway, which means that in the long run, you're going to feel amazing about yourself and you're going to be proud of yourself. The second step that I'm going to be giving you, again, is something that might surprise you, but it's so important and so underrated. And it's one of the key drivers to actually build discipline, build habits in your life, build a lot of smaller habits. What do I mean by this? So small habits, it can be so many different things. It can be from the time that you're waking up. Let's say you're waking up at 8 in the morning now. You're just about making it into work. Instead of that, build a habit where you are waking up at 6 every morning. Is it easy? No. To build a habit, it takes time. Luckily for you though, to actually break a habit, it takes way longer. What this means is that if you're trying to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning, it's going to suck in the short term. But once you build a habit, it's going to be way easier. And then to actually break the habit, it's going to take way longer for you. But it does not have to be specifically this. There are so many different habits that you have to make. And you have to make sure you're doing baby steps, one thing at a time, especially someone who hasn't worked out before. Now, for myself, as soon as I started working out, I fell in love with working out, fell in love with the gym. And for me, it came very easily. Not everyone's like that. Some people are simply not enjoying it as much as other people. And that's fine, by the way. But to make it easier for themselves, you have to make sure that you are building habits. Another habit, for example, can be just simply sorting out your diet. I have a very good tip that you can use, for example, if you're a person who always overeats or is struggling with junk food, just don't have any in the house to begin with. If you do not buy any junk food or any sweets or burgers or whatever it is that you really, really like and you can't live without and you know it's bad for you, then just simply don't buy it. Don't bring it into your house. When it's not in your house, you will not have the opportunity to eat it. I mean, even for myself, if I buy some cookies or some biscuits or whatever it is that I'm buying and I keep it in the house, I'm going to end up eating it eventually. And this is a big, big problem. But just by sorting out your environment to the point where you don't have any junk food in your house, it can already make a big, big difference to your diet. This is a very good way to start. Another habit that you want to build is maybe to start taking cold showers in the morning or do cold plunges. There are so many different ways of doing this. You have to make sure that you find what works for you and what you want to do according to your goals. Whether you want to build muscle, whether you want to lose fat, whether you just want to improve your cardio, there are so many goals you may have. You have to make sure that you tailor these habits to what you're trying to achieve. So the third tip that I'm going to be giving you is simply to find what you enjoy. Now, as I was saying, discipline is to do what you hate, like doing what you love it, but that does not mean that you have to hate every second of your life. You have to make sure that your workout routine, your exercise regimen, your diet, your daily routine fits to your lifestyle and is something that you enjoy more or less. You make it as enjoyable for you as you possibly can be, because this is going to make it easier for you to stick to it in the long run. So what do? It's very simple. You experiment with different things and you find out what works the best for you. Now, as I was saying, working out, going to the gym is not for everybody. Some people hate it. They despise it. That's fine. That does not mean that you have to necessarily do it. I mean, to build muscle, it is very recommended to go to the gym, and I recommend everybody to work out because I think it's a very positive thing to do. But at the same time, if you really hate and you hate your life when you're doing it, then you have to stick to something else. Maybe you want to do some running. Maybe you want to do some combat sports. Maybe you want to play some football. There are so many ways around it, but you have to find what you really enjoy. And this comes from experimenting with different things. In this case, experimenting with different workout routines. Even when it comes to diet, it's exactly the same principle. To begin with, you will not know what the best diet is for you to get in shape. What's the easiest way for you to get in shape? We all like different things. We all like different types of foods. You have to make sure that you try different things. You're essentially doing an experiment on yourself and finding out what works the best for you. So it's almost like doing research for your dissertation or your PhD or something, right? You're finding out what works the best for you by experimenting with different things. Maybe you want to try intermittent fasting. Maybe you want to have a big breakfast. Maybe you want to try having more diet soda drinks like Diet Coke or Diet Lemonade, because this will help you to not crave sweet things. Try these different things and see what works for you. There are so many things around that you can do. And you have to make sure that you're trying these things to find what works the best for you. You don't have to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice all the time. Imagine eating chicken, broccoli, and rice without any seasoning. I've tried that before and it's awful. You don't enjoy yourself. You hate your life. And you don't want to be doing this. You have to make sure you find foods that you like and you try and make it in a healthy way. You experiment with it, right? You can do your own cooking at home. You make sure that you add less fat into it or something, or you can make sure that you add more veggies into a meal to make it more filling. There are so many different things that you can experiment with, and the way to find out what works for you is by trying these different things. Honestly, this is going to take you months and months, sometimes even years. I mean, I'm still finding out things about myself after working out for 6-7 years now. It is a constant thing going on. You're constantly researching. So while you are doing this, while you're starting this body transformation, while you're building these good habits, you're always doing research for yourself and you're always trying to identify things that will make it easier for you to stick to these workout routines. In terms of general diet tips, it's actually pretty simple. I'm not going to go into great detail about this because this is just a top line video of the basics that you need in order to make sure that you stick to your goals and you stick to your word and that you follow through with them. But in terms of diet, it's very simple, as I was saying. If you're trying to gain muscle, you have to make sure you eat enough protein, you have to increase your protein intake. At the same time, you have to make sure that if you're a skinny guy, that you're eating enough calories, you're consuming more calories that you're burning in order to allow muscle gains. On the other hand, if you're trying to lose weight, then again, you have to make sure you eat enough protein because the protein is what's going to help you to maintain the muscle, and also it's going to make your meals more filling, which is going to allow you to be in a calorie deficit and not get so hungry. I have done a video about how to gain muscle as a skinny guy, and that goes more into detail of how you need to work out specifically, how you need to eat specifically, and just more in detail in general. If that interests you, make sure you watch that video because I feel like you can probably get some good value from it. Even if you're a person who's looking to lose weight, that video is going to be pretty useful for you because there's a lot of tips that don't just apply to skinny guys trying to gain weight, but also to people who are looking to lose weight and just lose some body fat essentially. Last but not least, we have the last tip, which is to reflect and to take progress pictures. Reflecting on yourself and being proud of yourself is incredibly important. This is your goal to begin with. You want to be proud of yourself by the end of the body transformation. And you can do this by actually taking a lot of pictures and measuring your weight, measuring how your body is looking, taking pictures, mirror pictures, and just looking back of what you were before and what you are now. There aren't many things out there that will make you feel better about yourself than when you reflect, you look back on yourself last year and you look at yourself now and you see a big difference in your body, for example. When you look back on what you were before and you actually managed to make significant improvements and you look at yourself now, this is a reason for you to be proud of yourself. By taking monthly progress pictures and seeing the difference of what you were before, it doesn't just help you to track your progress, but also, more importantly, be incredibly proud of your achievements, because it is so important. It's important to celebrate your little wins, and by doing this, it is going to help you to keep going in the long run. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about these different tips. Is there anything that I missed? Is there anything that you think is very important to stay committed to working out? Anything else that I could have said in this video? Let me know your thoughts. Maybe you're someone who's looking to start working out this January. Make sure you stick to your New Year resolutions, as I was saying. Or if you're watching this video in a complete different month, even then, just stick to what you promised to yourself. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is what it was for this. If you like other content to do with self-improvement, I talk about a lot of different topics, mostly about the gym and working out, but I also talk about different things like sports, boxing, football, sometimes about traveling for self-improvement, and just general self-improvement, like becoming a better version of yourself. If you enjoy these type of content, if this interests you, then consider subscribing to the YouTube channel. If you found this video valuable, give it a like and tune in for the next video, which actually will be released next week.